So, dear participants, kindly mute your audio and video. Very good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the trainers, the organizing team members, and the participants of our college and also from various colleges. So, I welcome everyone for this fifth day FTP on cyber security, which is jointly organized by Department of Information Technology and Computer Science Engineering, St. Xavier's Catholic College of Engineering. So I hope that all the participants, everyone has a very good idea on types of hackers, malware family, social engineering, attacks in social engineering, phishing, and also how to protect password. Today we have a very good demonstration on cyber security, crypto email, steganography. Today we are going to see about future scope in cyber security and also the first session will be handled by Ms. Shifa, and the second session, the bug bounties, will be handled by Mr. Rohit. He'll join. So I welcome everyone, and now I invite our chief resource person, Shifa, present his session.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am, for the introduction. So we'll, without wasting time, we'll quickly start with the session today. So I'll share my slide. Okay. So I hope I am audible to all of you. Just one confirmation and then I'll start.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So my introduction is already covered by HOD ma'am. So I'll quickly start. So cybersecurity, a right topic towards your future, is the topic today I'm going to discuss. So the talk is entirely based on my own research and experience about cybersecurity growth, development, and future in cybersecurity. Before discussing about future, let's understand what are the current trends in cybersecurity. So the first question which strike to our mind is why cybersecurity the right step. Okay, so here I have something. The reason is we are getting digital day by day. Information reaches us at the speed of light. Every information facility or service is at our fingertips. If we are hungry, we order food from Swiggy, Zomato, etc. If we need medicine, we have Farm Easy, MedLife. Want to shop online, we have eBay, Flipkart, Amazon, and so many e-commerce websites. We are able to date online, make friends online, find our match online. To connect for a professional meet, again we have Zoom, Hangouts, Google Meets, Microsoft Teams, and so many. To check the updates of our friends, family, relatives, etc., we have WhatsApp, Instagram, and so many different apps. We use Paytm, Google, Bheem, and so many e-wallets to transfer our money. We are surrounded by internet, and according to me, we spend 70 to 90% of our time using internet. We are moving to a virtual world very rapidly without knowing the fact that there are so many scammers and black hat hackers who are waiting to attack. Here are the types of hackers which are already been discussed. So I'll just give you a brief again if someone has newly joined. So black hat hackers are the ones. Black hat hackers are the one who work for themselves, for their greed, for their selfishness. They work for their malicious purposes. They crack premium application, create virus, ransomware, and infect others. all the cybercrime, identity theft, data leak are performed by these black hat hackers or scammers. Then the leaked data is been sold on deep and dark web in a very cheap price. To the contradictory, we have white hat hackers who work for government and private organization and also are working to make our internet a safer place and making our digital life better. So this talk is based on opportunities and ways how to become a white hat hacker, not a black one. So we are going to talk throughout the discussion about only the white hat hackers, the professional one. So to fight against these black hat hackers, we need some professional white hat hackers, some skilled individual who can uh, save the internet. So let's understand how and why cybersecurity industry all of a sudden becomes a inseparable part of the world. So earlier only 2% of IT budget used to be spent on cybersecurity. Due to low expenses on cybersecurity products, cybersecurity teams over the years, so many malwares and ransomwares are being developed and infected the organization due to this low budget. As you can see increase in the graph over here, uh, till 2000, this is a graph from 2006 to 2018. I did not got the latest one, but then this speaks a lot. You can see the gradual increase in the make of virus, ransomware, spyware, etc. So here are the list of some common attacks that are performed, such as non-payment, non-delivery, phishing, ransomware, and there are many more. So these are the commonly known attacks, and you can see in increase of numbers of these attacks. So here the fact says 54% of organization has experienced one or more ransomware incident in 2017. Cybercrime damage cost the world $6 trillion annually by the year 2021, and 81% of organization claim why this happens because of the carelessness of the employees. The organization is in danger. So what can be done to do this? So to stop this, we need cybersecurity professional, in-house cybersecurity team to look to defend, to handle these cyber attacks, threats, and also to lower down the risk and losses which can be caused in future due to such criminals. So why cybersecurity? According to me, it is the main reason is digitalization. As we are moving towards digital world, so cybersecurity is something which can never be neglected. So here are the demand projection of cybersecurity professional globally, as can be seen from the graph clearly. In a very short fall, we have very short fall of skilled professional, which has increased over the years, as you can see from the graph very clearly. In 2014, if you see, we had a very small gap in the shortfall of engineers, but over the years it has increased a lot, and it's still increasing in 2020. As you can see clearly from here, this image shows the increase in different IT job roles. So I can see very clearly that 28% of the jobs that are the openings are for information security analyst. So why information security analyst? This is a job role which the position wherein the cyber security person can work and apply for this information security analyst role. Although software development has increased to 24%, because everyone now, small to a big vendor, everyone is making their websites, their applications, everyone is using a lot more internet. Each and everyone, from cake shop to any person who is even selling anything, they do have a website. So obviously software development job is increased, but at the very same time information security has increased tremendously. So one fact I would like to say, when we are freshers or when an engineer or a college going students come to the final year, let's take an example of 100 people. Out of 100, more than 60 students thinks of a position of software developer. They tend to think that we'll learn any one programming language and will become a developer and life will be very sorted. uh, and this is what the trend is, but then in reality we need information security analysts a lot. Out of 100 at a very entry level, only 11 students thinks of becoming or choosing cybersecurity as a career. So this is very important to notice here, that the competition when you go in terms of development is a lot more higher, and then the job package will always be lower, because when we have a lot of options of students being a company, so we try to negotiate. But then in terms of cyber security, I have seen students getting 7 to 8 lakh package at the very starting level, being an average students or even below average, because they are skilled and they decided to go into cybersecurity. Although development is also a very good choice, but then we have a lot of students. You can think of a ratio that out of 160 or more than that are thinking to become a developer, and only 11 are thinking to become a cyber security analyst, and number of openings are mostly the same for both. If an application is developed, so obviously it has to be tested, so the job ratio is similar, but then the application ratio is a lot different. And then we have other industries as well, which can be considered. Okay, so what about India? That I talked about globally, but then in India, if you see this, the scope of cybersecurity engineers are increasing, and then you can see what is the budget. The budget decided for cybersecurity in India is around 230. 1.94 billion US dollars. I have written all the sources from where I have taken the graph, etc. So the first thing I would like to say here is, it is one of the very few industry which has witnessed 0% unemployment rate since 2016. What does this mean? That means if you are into cybersecurity, I am not saying you eagerly want to just go into cybersecurity and you get a job. It's nothing like that. You are into cybersecurity, you are skilled enough to be to apply for a job, then you will see 0% unemployment. It's not like cybersecurity is a very responsible kind of job wherein they don't take a chance. If you are halfly knowledge or if you have very less knowledge, they are not never gonna give you a chance. But then if you are a skilled fresher, if you know some or the other things, if you do bug bounties, if you are able to collect hall of fames, if other companies are appreciating you, then you have a very good chance and you will never face unemployment word into the field of cybersecurity. They always welcome skilled professionals. So, what is the scope of cybersecurity professional? Uh, Humans are the weakest link in cybersecurity. This is what we know, and we have been learning since last 4 days. Most affected industries by cyber attacks are financial organization, healthcare, government agencies, education, and manufacturing. So these are some sectors which are highly infected by attackers in terms of cyber attacks. So financial organization, we all know, we all have heard or seen our friends, relatives, or some known person has already been a victim of this financial cybercrime attack. We get a phone calls from bank saying your bank account has been freezed or blocked. To unlock that, you have to pay XYZ amount. So this kind of things has happened, and we have read and we know about this a lot. But what about healthcare, government agencies, education? Even in education now these attacks are started happening. So let's talk about first healthcare organizations such as hospitals, etc., holds very sensitive information of patient. Let's imagine that you are a hospital or you hold very sensitive information of your patients. What medicine to give, to be given to which patient, the patient arrived on which date, what all payments are to be taken from the patient, what all dosage and what doctor is going to visit. Each and every information is nowadays stored in computer. No manual methods are used. So when a ransomware attack happened to this hospital, all their files are encrypted. So when all their files are encrypted, they are not able to access those patients' data. Obviously, hospital cannot let the patient die, so they don't have any choice other than paying the ransom to the attacker. When they pay the ransom to the attacker can give the key to the hospital and patient's data and then do the further process. There are a lot more chances that when you pay the ransom, the attacker is going to attack you again with the same way and may demand now the higher ransom. So this may happen, and this is already happening. So how they can deal with this? So now how they are dealing with this? I have seen so many top healthcare organization now have in-house cybersecurity team to deal with such attacks, to stop this ransomware attacks and all the other threats which can happen to their hospital sensitive data. So this is how they have taken a smart move, but still I see a lot of people doesn't know about this, and they are becoming victim of this attack. There is no other option. We have seen in the yesterday's class about cryptography. If attacker use their private key to encrypt all the files, so no one in the world can decrypt those files. You don't have any option, you don't have anything to get those file back other than paying the ransom. You only have two options: either pay ransom or delete your data. In hospitals there is no chance to delete the data. Same way, we have government agencies who hold very sensitive data, our Aadhaar card details, our passport details, and so many other details they hold. So they also have to be very secured and protected. So now government, I have seen, have already started hiring a lot of cyber secure. Now they openly post about openings in cyber security, and then they are making a very strong team. They already have one, but still they are in need of more people. And then before some days I have seen they had a opening for cyber security interns in Gurgaon or something, and Nagpur. So yes, they have also came publicly, and now they are posting about their job openings or internships. Education industry is the next for all next of this, because they also hold a lot of sensitive data about students, the birth certificates, the a lot of more information education industry hold, and manufacturing industries are again the next target. So these are some upcoming and already ongoing favorite targets of this kind of cyber criminals. So what are the eligibility criteria to get into cybersecurity? So you can graduate or you can be an engineer. You complete your engineering in or computers, etc. And then BSc IT is always an option. And then we have for commerce students who want to get into cybersecurity can complete their BCA, Bachelor's in Computer Application. So what understanding do we need initially at entry level? So understanding of OS, different OS like Windows, Linux, Mac OS. If you have a good understanding about the architecture and fundamentals of it, it's an added advantage. Then you should know about networks, and you should know about mobile. Mobile means not to download the application. I am talking about the fundamental and architecture, how Android and how iOS works and how it is developed. And if you know about Linux and shell scripting, it is again a very good advantage. Any one programming language is good to start with. Even if it is JavaScript, it's fine. Logics are more important here. So job roles and opportunity. So when you start in cybersecurity, the job role will be a trainee or a cybersecurity analyst, and slowly it will increase to an engineer or specialist. Then you can be a manager or a team leader. Then we have CEO, CISO, and CIO. So here are some questions which I have taken from sources I have written below. So salary, what is the salary structure of a cybersecurity engineer initially? So it varies between 3 lakh to 9 lakh. I have personally seen my students, the salary ranges from 3 lakh to 9 lakh. Some of them manage to get their job in 8 or 9 lakh as well at very starting. It totally depends on what company you are applying for, how big their infrastructure is, everything like that. So it differs between 3 to 9 lakh. Is cybersecurity in demand? So I have written where which source I have taken it from. So that's 300% increase in the job openings of cybersecurity. The job rate has increased to 94% in just 6 years. Just a movement. I am so sorry. Sabah. I am so sorry, so sorry. Cybersecurity job posting have that's a 300% increase in demand compared to the overall job IT market. The okay. So what are the scope of hackers in India? This is what I normally searched on Google. I think you will also get similar kind of result if you'll search for it. So in India alone, the number is expected to increase or grow by 77,000. And then if you see globally, so it is going to increase with this figure in next few years. And also some big names like Dell, Reliance, Google, Accenture, IBM, and Infosys have come in public and mentioned that they will have a big and bumper hiring in the cybersecurity team. So these are my personal tips. If you want to grow or go into cybersecurity, you should understand this. OWASP 10 networks, APIs, bug bounties, and Linux are enough to start with. And here are some bug bounties platform which Rohit is going to discuss in the second half. So here are some tools which are very important and which will be very helpful to sustain in cybersecurity industry. Acunetics, Burpsuit, Metasploit, SQL Map, Nessus, and Nmap. So what are the career and certification in cybersecurity? Once you complete your graduation, then you can complete some certifications from EC Council, Certified Secure Computer User, Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH, EC Council ECSA, and then you can complete CISSP. So here, these are some certification which you can complete if you want to get certification globally. So my presentation is done. If you have any doubt, also connect me on LinkedIn if you want to know anything other than this or any other thing. So I'll quickly open the discussion thing. Okay, so do we have any doubt in this? Hello.
Participants, if you have any doubt, you can use the chat window.
Ma'am, there is a
One
doubt
question.
in the chat.
Okay.
Any best practices to prevent cyber threat?
Or else we can just have Rohit session and then I can solve all, like we can have the discussion, a whole 10 or 15 minutes discussion. Is Rohit connected?
Yeah, Shifa, I'm connected.
Okay. So Rohit, can we have your session first?
Yeah, sure, of course.
And then we can take up all the doubts all together and solve.
At the end.
Okay,
Yeah.
Rohit, over to you. You can start sharing your screen. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you, Shifa, for the wonderful insights on career in cybersecurity and how can we get started. I will just start with my presentation on bug bounty. Just acknowledge me if my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, yes, Rohit, it's visible.
Okay. All right. So we are going to discuss about bug bounty because bug bounty is one of the inseparable part of cybersecurity. Nowadays, you must have seen everywhere on interviews as well as social media platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Most of the people and our youth are more inclined towards bug bounty. So, what actually is bug bounty? Bug bounty is a technique in which a person sits behind a computer and earn millions without even going to work. So, what does he do that he earns so much? So any person who find technical bugs, we call them vulnerabilities or security flaws into any web application or any software or any mobile application. Okay. After he finds the flaws or the vulnerability, he reports to the company and they fix it in a timely manner. Then the company in return gives rewards to the particular security researcher who has reported those bugs. This whole process is known as bug bounty hunting, and the person who does this is known as a bug bounty hunter. Recently, there was a security researcher from India, from Delhi. His name is Bhavuk Jain. He reported a bug in Apple which was sign in bypass. So he could have logged in into anyone's Apple iCloud account without his or her right password, and he was awarded with a bounty of 75 lakhs. So why this happens? Why are there security vulnerabilities everywhere? And why there are so many vulnerabilities? So there is a process known as SDLC. So what exactly is SDLC? SDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle. So any company, either small or a very big giant multi-millionaire company, whenever they develop anything, so let's say they are developing a product or a website or a web application or a mobile application, at that time they have to take these 6 steps in practice. Okay, the first is training, risk assessment, requirements, the design, development, testing, and finally deployment of the product that they have made, which is making it live. But they lack one thing, that is the testing phase, the T, which I have written over here. So what generally these companies do, they spend a lot of money in design, in testing, in requirements, but they try to save their money in testing by not performing this step properly. What happens at the end is there are security vulnerabilities that arise later on, and attackers and hackers hack those vulnerabilities, making a significant loss to the company. At that time, these companies have to put 10 times more money to fix those particular issues that have happened. Also, you must have seen many companies recently had paid very huge fines under the GDPR Act for not securing the data of the customers or the employees properly. So these companies try to save the money in testing, but they end up giving a lot of money for security, for fixing the security breaches. Instead, what now, everyone has understood that they should open up a bug bounty program in which security researchers come, they test for the vulnerabilities, and in return, these researchers are paid by the companies. And this whole funda and process is known as bug bounty hunting. where and how bug bounty fit into SDLC. Bug bounty fits into SDLC in this particular step, that is testing. Okay, so why it is so much important? This is a screenshot that I have posted of Hacker News, in which two new Spectre class CPU flaws discovered. Intel pays $100,000 bounty to security researchers. Recently, again, $100,000 bounty was paid to an Indian researcher by Apple. This is one more news. $75,000 is paid to a hacker for hijacking the iPhone camera via Safari. So these are very big names which pay a lot of huge bounties to researchers for finding critical vulnerabilities into the applications. This is the Google Hall of Fame. I reported sensitive and critical vulnerabilities to Google, and I was listed into their Hall of Fame, wherein I was able to log in into anyone's Google account. Either it is Gmail, Drive, Docs, Slides, Photos, anything. I reported the vulnerability immediately and it was fixed, and I was listed into their Bug Hunter Hall of Fame. I reported a vulnerability to Accounts Grow. This is a financial organization in US. The vulnerability that I reported was vulnerable to Sweet 32 attack and robot attack. You guys won't know for now what are these attacks, but I have put this particular screenshot into this slide for the motivation of bug bounty hunting. And you can see I was rewarded with $200 for this particular vulnerability. And the most interesting part about this particular vulnerability is it did not take me more than 10 minutes to find out this easy vulnerability. I again found out multiple vulnerabilities like application sensitive parameter bypass, SSL TLS vulnerability. I was awarded $100 for finding this vulnerability. Next, there is a cybersecurity conference, international cybersecurity conference that is held in India, in Indore. I wanted to book the ticket for that particular conference. But while booking the ticket, I found out that there was a security flaw. So I tried manipulating the amount, and to my surprise, I was able to book my ticket for 1 rupee. So as soon as I booked my ticket for 1 rupee, I quickly messaged Mr. Yogesh Ranjan Upadhyay. He is the CEO of Hackon, the conference. They invited me to the conference and they asked me to give a talk to the conference. So I went there and I gave a talk on how I landed on Hackon for 1 rupees. So this particular thing is into the slide because to explain that even the security companies or security people who are aware a lot about security still tend to miss some critical things and vulnerability still arises. So always remember, cybersecurity is a thing which cannot be fixed 100%. There are security flaws everywhere. No one can give you 100% security. 100% security is actually a myth. Nothing can be 100% secure. There are vulnerabilities everywhere. That means if you try to find vulnerabilities into top-notch companies, you will always end up finding some vulnerabilities which are missed by either the security researchers of that particular company, their internal team, or other bug bounty hunters. So guys, this is the recent screenshot I have pasted for this month, the July month. You can see I have received 2 bounties. This screenshot 500 euros. This again, sorry, $500, $500, 150 euros. So in total 47,000 rupees I received for this particular month in bounties. So I do not generally do a lot of bug bounties now because I am caught up with a lot of different work. But I motivate my students for doing this, and my students are doing actually very good in terms of bug bounties. I some of the time I take out in a month, let's say for 2 to 3 days, and I still manage to find some vulnerabilities. So this is what vulnerabilities are everywhere, and you will always find vulnerabilities. So I have posted this screenshot. This is the excellence certificate which is awarded to Jerry. Jerry found out a critical vulnerability in OYO rooms, and he was awarded with a Excellence Award for finding this particular critical vulnerability and reporting them in a timely fashion so that it was not exploited by any black hat hacker in the wild, or they could have disrupted the services and made a potential loss to the company by stealing the sensitive customers' data. So these are some of the students' achievements which are there. So you can see this particular screenshot of $75. This is the EC Council website that Shifa told you. That Shifa told you for the certifications when she was saying certified computer user, certified ethical hacker. So EC Council is the website which gives you these certifications, and there was a critical vulnerability into the into the certification body website. So the student was able to find out that critical vulnerability into the website, and he was listed into the Hall of Fame of EC Council. This is one more appreciation letter which is given by the Open Bug Bounty project. So Open Bug Bounty project is an open source community which takes the initiative of fixing all the vulnerabilities onto the internet. So if you find any vulnerability on the internet on any website, you can report to this community, and they try to contact the developers of that particular organization, and they try to fix this. So the student, he was awarded with the outstanding security researcher for helping fix over 50 vulnerabilities onto the internet, or for fixing 50 different websites. So this is a screenshot which is one more screenshot for one more bounty. Recently, it was 1 month ago. This is the screenshot of NCIIPC. So NCIIPC is National Critical IT Infrastructure Protection Center, which is one of our wing of NTRO, Government of India. So in this, they released a top 15 security researchers by NTRO in April 2020 newsletter, and into this top 15 security researchers of India, these are my students. There are total 3 students which were able to secure their position into the list. Students have also got jobs through Bug Bounty, as you can see. Responsible disclosure, critical account takeover. Hey Piyush, we really like to thank you for making efforts and finding out the vulnerability in our system. We would love to create a regular association with you. So many students have also got jobs through Bug Bounties. It is very good that they are getting acknowledged, because they tend to find out critical vulnerabilities where the security team of that company misses. So students actually try to go one step ahead by thinking out of the box and finding those particular weakness which their team has also missed to find out. Although they keep on doing regular security scans and audits, but this is a tendency of humans. They always tend to miss something. So as I told you, 100% security cannot be achieved. So when they miss out something, we try to find those vulnerabilities to safeguard those applications from any malicious attackers. And students have also bagged good jobs because of this. These are some more screenshots which are reported on Bugcrowd. Bugcrowd is a bug bounty hunting platform, a very huge platform on which more than 500 companies have registered there. You just need to go to this platform and you can start your bug bounty hunting journey. Just pick any program that you want. By program, I mean pick any website you want, and you can start finding vulnerabilities. This is totally free of cost. So these are some screenshots of students who have got Hall of Fame in ISC Square, which again give us certifications, cybersecurity certifications, Ibota and Indeed. These are some more screenshots for private programs. There are some more companies which actually do not run a public program like Bugcrowd, because programs which are public are only on Bugcrowd, which means all the security researchers can find out vulnerabilities on those. But there are some more companies out there which runs a private programs which is invite only. So basically every one of you cannot directly jump on those programs and find vulnerabilities. They basically invite you, and after the invitation you try to find vulnerabilities onto those particular websites, and if you manage to hunt and find vulnerabilities, you are awarded for your efforts. So these are some of the screenshots, as you can see over here. Okay, so I think this is enough of the motivation for bug bounty hunting. So how will you start your journey now? So let's see how can you begin your journey in bug bounties. So these are some of the bug bounty platforms that you should know. The first one is Bugcrowd, as I already told. All these platforms are free for every one of you to test. So if any one of you want, you can also go there, sign up. You can make your students aware about this platform so they can go there and sign up, and they can use these platforms to start their bug bounty hunting journey. From these platforms, only one platform is private only, which is Synac. Synac has some rules for starting onto their platforms, wherein you need to send your professional work, your resume, your CV, and there are a couple of series of interviews that they take, and then only you are considered a Synac member. So I can refer to people because there are referrals. So I am a Synac member. I can refer if any one of you wants to get signed up on to Synac. But apart from Synac, there are very good programs on Bugcrowd and HackerOne for free as well. So what is the bug hunter's psychology? Always remember, do not get motivated by the rewards. Your expectation to hunt bugs should be high and low for the payouts. Okay. Why? Because if you tend to find vulnerabilities more, and your expectation is to make the internet more safer place by fixing those vulnerabilities for the organizations as well as the citizens, the netizens who are using that particular web application, website, or mobile application. So if your mentality is to fix more and more vulnerabilities, then your success rate will be more and more high. But if your expectations and mentality is for only for the payouts, then it may happen sometimes when companies actually don't pay you or do not consider your bugs. So you may get demotivated at that time. There are also high chances sometimes when you try to find a vulnerability and you report a vulnerability to the company, but it has already been reported by someone else. We call this as a duplicate bug. So in terms of duplicate bug, you don't get any reward. Okay, so at that time also you may get demotivated. So that's why the first and the foremost thing that your psychology should be always to expect to hunt bugs more and more and safeguard all the applications that are running online. So what are the benefits of bug bounty hunting? So I have not jotted down the benefits to the company on the left hand side and the benefits to the company on the right hand side. So first let's see the benefits to the company. So when we do bug bounty hunting, the company gets to make the applications more safer. Obviously, when we are hunting vulnerabilities, at that time we are fixing the loopholes, the bugs for other users. So the applications automatically tend to become more and more safer. Once the applications are safe, there will be less cyber attacks on those applications. The malicious actors, they will not be able to attack people, so there will be less cyber attacks. Once there is less number of attacks onto those applications website, then obviously those applications will automatically grow in the market. For example, if I give you an example for the application which was a lot in news recently was TikTok. So it was a news that was given, and even the Indian government released an advisory in which there were 52 applications which should be immediately removed from the Play Store because it has some of the communication or the data which was leaking to the Chinese government, and TikTok was in that particular advisory. So uh, these applications are generally considered not safe. Okay, so we should not even install those applications because they tend to leak our data. There are many applications such as like one more application, a famous gaming application is PUBG, wherein there are reports that they tend to record the data of the users, and they take it for data analytics as well. Okay, so what are the benefits to you? Let's see this now. The first benefit is you get to learn a lot. Why? Because no application, no website is made in the similar manner. There is a different code, different functionalities, different functions into the applications. That means you actually never use the old conventional method to test to applications. There is always something new that you will get, which means there is no place for boredom, and you will always enjoy finding vulnerabilities onto new applications, because there will be new challenges for new applications. So which is the important part, wherein you start to think out of box. So you try to find new vulnerabilities into different applications. Second thing, which is more important, is you earn a lot. After you find critical vulnerabilities, you will get a huge sum of money from these companies. Next is swag. Swag is the companies tend to give you goodies. For instance, they give you t-shirts, laptops, and a lot of stuff like that. That is swag. Next is Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, I consider as the most important one from all of these points, apart from earning or swag. Obviously, learning is important. Hall of Fame is important because you get certificates from those companies, and they acknowledge you. They give you letters in which they acknowledge you that yes, you are competent enough to find security vulnerabilities, and you have found those bugs which we have missed, which our security team has missed in finding into, which means you are already one step ahead, and you have a deep insights in the practical. And yes, you have demonstrated that you are able to find critical vulnerabilities into our applications, and you have also helped us fixing them into a timely manner by not exposing those vulnerabilities or not exploiting those vulnerabilities into the public. So I consider you do not go for any paid certification like CEH or anyone. This is my personal recommendation, although it is my opinion. So I generally tell all the students that you should go behind Hall of Fames, because that contains more weightage than any paid certification in the market. Okay. So next is jobs. You obviously get jobs based on this. Recently, my students have got 3 contract for testing applications, wherein they get paid for those applications when they find vulnerabilities. So the bar that is set for the payments depends on the severity of the vulnerability that you have found. If you have found a vulnerability which is low, you tend to get, for example, $100. If the vulnerability is medium, it keeps on increasing: medium, high, critical. These are the 4 categories. We call this as VRT, vulnerability rating taxonomy, and in which you are paid according to the type of vulnerability that you find based on the severity. In case you do not manage to find any vulnerabilities, you still are getting paid under those contracts. Why? Because you have put your precious time for their applications, for testing and giving your inputs. So you still get paid if you don't find vulnerabilities. And this is one of the amazing thing for students who are just come out of the college, and they get a very good platform and exposure wherein they can just do hands-on live practical applications, and it is a very good learning curve actually. And also with learning, they get paid for their efforts that they are doing. So I will just show you, this is a screenshot of our bug bounty hunting trainings. This is a world map wherein you can see our students, they have been enrolled for our trainings from different part of the world. So there are around 72 countries where we teach. Our students are in these countries, which around the globe on Udemy. So we are connected with these many students, more than 2,000 students from 72 different countries and 27 different languages. So this is very good that we are getting connected around the globe, and there is a lot of good response which is coming from everywhere, which signifies that there is actually a very good exposure, and people are a lot aware about cyber security, and they are aware about the importance of cyber security. So it is very good. At the last, the trainings that we have provided on Udemy has been bestseller till now. So our course is ethical hacking, penetration testing, and bug bounty hunting. This is a training that we give on Udemy, and it has been as a bestseller course till now. And the vulnerabilities that are posted into this course are totally practical, hands-on. I have listed down more than 110 vulnerabilities, 110 videos, wherein you can see bugs that I have demonstrated on live websites. They are not on lab, they are on live websites, which give you exact feel of how when you will start your own bug bounty hunting journey. So the course on this platform is for 12,800, but me, Shifa, our team decided to make this very, very affordable for everyone. So we have generated some coupons wherein you get this course only for 360 rupees. So it is a 97% discount wherein you get this course. If you want to kickstart your journey or if you want to go for the trial, you can always go for this. This is also Udemy covers 30 days money back guarantee. So if you do not if you face trouble or if you think like, okay, I'm not able to cope up with this course, you can always go for a refund. That is totally uh, an option which is given. And this is the promo code that we have generated for every one of you, and this will last only for till today till 12 night. So you can use this promo code whenever you just go onto this particular website. You can search, you can just click below, there is a button called as coupon. You just go in the coupon and you can put this particular coupon, and you can utilize this particular coupon, so you get a 97% off on this training. If you wish to enroll, if you like it, you can enroll for that. You can also read reviews. There are 371 ratings given on that particular course, and you can read about the reviews as well. Yeah, so thank you everyone. I hope I was able to give a brief insight on bug bounty hunting. Actually, there is a lot that we can discuss and talk on bug bounty hunting, but for now, as you, most of you are not aware about bug bounty hunting and the vulnerabilities into that. So whatever I will talk will may go above your head or bouncer for every one of you. So this is what I thought for giving the basic information about what bug bounty hunting is, what is the motivation, what are the platforms, and how it fits in the SDLC. So I hope you guys understood the basics of that. In case you want to cover more or you want to learn about this more, you can always enroll for that training, or you may also refer anyone if they are interested for the training as well. So yeah, thank you. With this, I will conclude. In case you have any doubts, you can always ask the doubts. Right now, we are open to doubts, questions. Yeah, so anyone has any doubts?
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This website I just saw, there's the Udemy, where they're talking about 10 hours, right? 9.5 hours of this course.
Yes,
which
it is
you're
of 9.5
giving in
hours.
Udemy.
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes. Please, please say. I'm able to.
This, what is the pre-acquired knowledge that to join this course, anything like that?
So the best thing about this course is you do not need to be technical. You do not need to know a lot of things, because in this course I have started with very basics. It is something which I'm explaining with a lot of what do we say, figures. I have explained many things by figures and tried to break down many things to very, very simple by putting some gifts, as well as I've put a lot of principles and how it actually works. So it starts from very basic. So if you do not know technical knowledge about cyber security, then still you can manage to cope up with this course. You do not need any prerequisites for that.
Thank you, Rohit, sir.
You're
I
welcome.
hope you are going to have understood.
Sir, you wish to say or something? There was a hand raised.
Yep. So let us see the questions. Yeah, someone is raising a hand. You can ask your question. Most of the questions are answered, I see, into the chat box.
But then Rohit, there is one question which is asked by HOD ma'am. So then you can,
Yeah.
if you can brief about how AI is gonna be important into cybersecurity, what are the research going on? A slight insights, if you can.
Okay, sure. So basically, I wrote me and Shifa both wrote an article on this, how AI, ML, and blockchain is going to impact cybersecurity, how machine learning will impact cybersecurity. So basically, with these advancements of machine learning, with a lot of automation of AI, obviously it is going to help in terms of cybersecurity in making applications more and more safer. Why? Because humans, as we know, are the weakest link in cybersecurity, that we have also covered in our previous day sessions for phishing and social engineering. So all those vulnerabilities and the risk will be totally mitigated if we implement AI and ML into that. Also, there are many vulnerabilities or that arises into web applications when they are not properly developed. So for example, if there is any hacker who is trying to hack any application, so let's say example.com, and he's continuously sending his malicious queries or payloads. Okay, so for the website that is example.com, they have already, let's say they have already implemented preventive measures like firewall, SIEM, security incident products. They have implemented firewall, antivirus. They have prevented many measures, but they still do not work efficiently if the payloads or the attack vectors that those malicious threat actors are using are not old. If they are new and they are not saved into the signature database of these firewalls or antiviruses, they do not prevent them. Okay, so in that case, the attack will still happen if you have, even if these company of example.com have put all the preventive measures. So how to stop them? So there comes and there helps AI and ML. So if AI and ML based firewalls or new prevention measures are being implemented onto our servers, in that case, they will study if there is any pattern difference that has coming in the request response or the traffic that is coming from around the globe, if that traffic is not a regular traffic. Okay, if the traffic is from a C2 server, a C2 server is a command and control server of any attack or threat vectors. So basically it will study the pattern in the packets, how the pattern is. Does the packets contain some malicious request or malicious payloads which are not coming from other customers? So they will automatically block those particular IPs, so that there is minimal damage that has been done onto the servers. Always remember, we will never get 100% security even if we implement it, even if we implement any preventive measure or security solution. But we can drastically bring down that curve of attacks by implementing AI, ML, blockchain into cybersecurity. Yeah. So I hope this helps. There is I also have an article based on that. I can share that article link after this session ends, so everyone can refer that article also. It will be helpful. Whether bug bounty is only related to user experience or functionalities. So Mr. Arvind Prabhu has asked about this question. So let me just answer this. So bug bounty is similar like a penetration test. So what actually is a VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration test. So let's say Mr. Arvind is working for a organization, let's say example.com, and he's working as in a cybersecurity team, a cybersecurity researcher. So his job role will be to find vulnerabilities into those applications and fix them in a timely fashion. After those vulnerabilities has been fixed and everything has been tested, then example.com will make the application live on the internet for everyone's use in the world. So when the application is live and everyone is using, at that time, when let's say I am using that application and I try to see that okay, there are some bugs which are still not fixed. Okay, and I found those vulnerabilities and report to Mr. Arvind, and the team acknowledges those vulnerabilities and they try to fix those vulnerabilities which were missed by their team. This is we call as bug bounty hunting. What Mr. Arvind was doing was called as VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, wherein there is a fixed contract and you get salary for whatever bugs that you are finding. But in bug bounty it is not fixed. And obviously bug bounty you do not need any contracts with any company. You can just, there are millions of websites on the internet. You can start with any particular website which has a bug bounty program, and you can start your journey and hunting on those websites. If you manage to find vulnerabilities, then you will get paid for those. Yeah, as Jerry even said, simple, it can be called as security testing, covers applications flaw, functional flaws, other flaws which are left by the security team.
Any other questions? So I thank Mr. Rohit as well as Mr. Shifa for a wonderful presentation, for your insights on future scope in cyber security, and also your motivation and positive directions to look forward in the cyber security domain. So thank you, expert team, and all participants have benefited out of it, their careers and also the important things in future. And again, one more question is from Aravind Prabhu.
Yes,
Most of the
Mr.
organizations move towards.
Most of the organizations are moving towards clouds. Will cybersecurity will be more in demand? Yes. So most of the organizations are moving to cloud, like AWS, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Hosted Services, Microsoft Azure Web Services. So when these companies are moving towards cloud, at that time there are security misconfigurations where these people generally miss out, and we still find vulnerabilities on applications which are hosted onto the cloud. Okay, so we find vulnerabilities like subdomain takeovers. There are many such vulnerabilities, IAM security vulnerabilities, functional level vulnerabilities onto this cloud hosted applications as well. Also, if they these applications shift on cloud, we also shift on a cloud for our automation testing. So we try to create our own scripts wherein we test these organizations, and continuously where we try to find vulnerabilities onto those particular websites. So shifting on the cloud is one of a very good and important reason for reliability, scalability. So it is very good, but still there are vulnerabilities that are still there even on the cloud platforms. And we have also found many critical vulnerabilities on clouds like Azure and AWS. So I hope this answers this question. Yeah.
Once again, I thank the expert team members for your wonderful answering for this questions, and also a wonderful session and motivational talk. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah, bye. Have a good day.
Thank you. Varun, have you all submitted this feedback?
Ma'am, around 75.
How many feedbacks so far?
Exactly 71 responses. Andros, ma'am, shall we wind up? Andros, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, you can wind up this